Hey there YouTube, this is SJM4306 back with another review video. This one I'm really excited about. So, a little background. I am a fellow Dankpodder, Dankpodist, Dankpodiatrist. No, never mind. I am a fellow subscriber to the channel Dankpods, which if you're unfamiliar with, he's an Aussie bloke who does stuff with like old iPods and like really big into like drums and headphones, and then has a snake called Frank, even though Frank's a girl. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, love his channel. And he recommended, it was quite a while ago, these KZs. And this model in particular is the ES4, which is like their cheapest model. I think it's their cheapest model. I remember these only being like 20 bucks maybe. And these are really good for the value. Like, I love these headphones. They're super sensitive. They fit my ears like really well. I like the design of them. You know, they have these removable ear hook thingies that you can just like swap out the cord. You can even buy Bluetooth cords to make these Bluetooth compatible. It's fantastic. I freaking love these guys. They sound really good for the price. And that's a caveat. But yeah, so I love these guys. So I was really surprised when I got an email in my inbox from the company that makes these. And yeah, they said, do you want to test out a higher end model? And I said, do you even have to ask? And then they said, yes, we just did. And then I said, okay, send them. And they sent them. Holy crap. I freaking love this company. Anyway, yeah, they sent me, let's see, what model number does this have? Yeah, it's a KZ-ZAR, the ZARs. They sent me them in black with the no mic version. I believe these are somewhere around like the $80-ish mark. So not the super high end, but also definitely nowhere near the low end, like the $20 pair here that I have. So the interesting thing about these, I was reading a little bit about the technical specifications, and this has like a buttload of drivers mounted inside. So like each ear, I think there's something ridiculous, like 6 or 8 drivers, and they all handle like slightly different frequencies. And I thought that was really interesting. I think the KZs only have 2. You can kind of see one larger speaker there, and I think there's like a smaller one, possibly. Maybe it's 1 or 2. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting idea. I'm not really too into IEMs otherwise, but I just love the way that the ES4 sounds, so I wanted to give these a try, definitely. Anyway, another thing to note with these are sensitive as heck. So it says 109 decibels per milliwatt. That basically means that you'll need to turn the volume way down on most of what you're going to listen to, because these can blow out your eardrums, basically. Impedance is actually pretty rational. It's only like 16.5 ohms, but yeah. Frequency response to give up to 40 kilohertz. That's interesting. Most people can't hear that high of a frequency, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, they give other information, which is standard. Anyway, let's rip into this guy and just see exactly what is in here. So we have a really nice box. Even the ES4s came in a really nice box, which for like your cheapest model kind of impressed me. So obviously they're interested in the first impression of you opening it up. And so here we have sort of this book design for the box. It has like a little insert. Oh man, that's nice. It says, don't forget, the original intention of using earphone is to enjoy music. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. So we have nice foam cutouts for the left and the right, and we have like a metal plaque. Is that like an insert? Or that's interesting. It like sits in there. I just pushed it in. We'll use this tab to just sort of lift that out and see what else is in this packaging. We have a user guide. Yada yada yada. Hearing safety, of course. Sound pressure. What sound pressures you can listen to without going deaf for a certain amount of time, etc., etc. Warranty, etc., etc. Some models have the microphone, mine does not. Doesn't really matter. I don't really ever use the mics anyway. And yeah, headphone knowledge of science. Headsets cannot show directly out background noise. Okay, good to know. Headset burn-in knowledge. Did not use a headset? You need to use it. The run after a period of time before they can use a headset unit diaphragm complete drive smoothly. We'll come back to this later. Maybe. So yeah, they're just talking about burning headphones in because unless you buy like cheapo headphones, you probably want to actually burn them in, to put a couple hours on them so that the mechanics of like the drivers themselves work themselves into like the optimal operating capacity or whatever. I don't know. I'm not really an audio guy, but yeah. And they're talking about lossless, so yeah, that is one thing about these headphones in particular. As opposed to like most of my other headphones, a lot of headphones that don't sound as good to my ears, it'll mask, if you use compressed audio like MP3s, it'll mask some of the imperfections. But when you have something like this that's so much more sensitive than the other headphones I have, you tend to notice like compression artifacts and stuff like that. So yeah, you kind of do want to listen to lossless music with these. Good thing, because I actually do have a number of MP3 players that are capable of lossless playback. So yeah, so I guess we'll just whoa. When you drive, you do not use headphones. Headphones use you. No, wait, that's in Soviet Russia. Anyway, so yeah, actually, I love this design. Like, they didn't have to put this bracket in here. They did. Anyway, we have our obligatory ear marshmallows. And it'll come undoubtedly with a set on the earbuds themselves, but it comes with a large, small, and it looks like the mediums are on the headphones. So good to know. Just set them down. We have the cord, which the cord on the ES4s was like a copper braided doohickey, which was interesting. Not my favorite because it's sort of coarse, and when it rubs against your clothing, it like kind of transmits the sound through the wires, and you can kind of hear it a bit. This seems a lot softer, so that's already an improvement. This is a little bit too stiff. It'll like keep its position for a little while, sort of thing. Yeah, this seems a lot softer. It's silver in color, so yeah, I'm liking this cord a bit better already. It has a nice honking heavy cord on the end. It's actually like beats someone with this. It's gold plated, so that's definitely a good sign. And yeah, and it has this little silver thing for where the cord separates to each of your earphone sides. Let's see how long this is. So we don't want too short of a cord. Okay. Just as my heater kicks in, the heater fan, great. It's about, I'll say like 3.5, 4 feet. So it's plenty long enough to go from your pocket to your ears and still have like, 6 inches or so of leeway. So yeah, pretty good length, I would say. It's not too long, definitely. And here we have, I just want to see, why is this like a separate piece? This is just an insert. Huh, that's interesting, with more foam on it. But yeah, like I said, that's like laser etched. Here, come on, focus. Focus. There we go. Laser etched on like aluminum, just for it to say the company name, have the logo, and then say 8-unit hybrid earphone. Yeah, I think that's what it means. 8-unit means there's 8 drivers, like 8 speakers inside each earphone part thing. Anyway, you have the earbuds themselves. And these are metal. Well, metal and plastic. So let me just get this out of the way. So this outside part is absolutely metal. It's cold. And they have a heft to them because of that. And the rest is like some kind of resiny plastic. I guess it's plastic. It looks injection molded. Yeah. Has the same type of tips that the ES4s have, which are these like mushroom-looking things, which work pretty well, and they're not too uncomfortable. They're not the most comfortable ear squishies, ear marshmallows that I've ever tried, but they're not horrible either, and they're pretty good at blocking sound actually. When you get them in properly, they do create a pretty good seal, which definitely helps with like sound quality kind of stuff with these IEMs. We have these little pins which are going to actually go into these guys. So let's see, like this. And are they keyed? I don't think they're keyed. You could actually probably insert them backwards, but I don't think it'd matter. Actually, before I do that, let's just see. There's like a massive circuitry in here. Like, here, let me get under the light and see. It's really hard to show. There's like a bunch of stuff in there. Like wires, and there's probably like a crossover or something. Wow, they actually packed a lot of stuff in here. Sorry, I can't give you a really good view of it. The plastic is slightly like cloudy. It's perfectly clear to my eyes, but it's like a smoke gray, so you can't see through it perfectly well. I can just about see it, but the reflections are kind of making it difficult. Yep, there's a ton of like electronic guts is what I mean, so that's interesting. Yeah, and here it has a silk screen that says right, and undoubtedly the left one says left. And there's some sort of really tiny text. Wow, I need a microscope to actually see that. There's something there, like right there. You can tell it's like some kind of text. But anyway, get these on. Everything's like gold plated, it looks like, connector wise. So that's definitely a good start. Yeah, let's try not to put like wood shavings from my bench into my ears, please. That would be no bueno. But yeah, just fit these in. They just fit just by friction. And yeah, you can even see the soldering between this cord and the pins inside here. They must have a jig, and then they mold the plastic around that. That's interesting. But yeah, so here we have, I think I might have done one backwards. No? Is this right? But why are they, what? Why are they asymmetrical? I did this backwards, I think. Like this. There we go. These look correct now. They just go in your head holes. So yeah, I guess all that's left is to actually stick these in. There's an interesting shape which is designed to fit most people's ears, and it looks actually pretty dissimilar to the ES4s. These are a bit smaller, and they go in pretty deep there, but this seems a little shallower and like more curvature on the plastic there. So it'll be interesting to see how these fit. Let's just do a quick ear hole test. Get this the right way around. Get into my ears. Oh wow, the mediums fit me really well. These are actually way more comfortable than these. These weren't super, like, I wouldn't say these were uncomfortable, but these are way more comfortable for my ears at least. They fit really well. The real test is to wear these for like at least like 2 to 3 hours straight, no breaks, and see how my head feels. And also, almost as important, well, actually probably more important than that, is how do they sound. So yeah, let me grab my Sony high-res player, plug this guy into the hole in the bottom of that. Why do I keep saying hole this whole video? Anyway, yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is let's test these out, and then I'll get back to you in a sec with my findings. Okay, so you might have noticed I have these like cute little cases. These I actually got from Dollar Tree. They were like $1.25, I think. Well, when I got this years ago. Everything was $1, but now apparently everything is $1.25. Anyway, let's not get into that. Anyway, they have these like cute little headphone cases, and these are perfect for these IEMs. So yeah, that's why I got these. Anyway, so I'm inevitably going to be comparing these are the ZARs, the ZARs, whatever, however you want to say them, versus the ES4s. Now, this isn't really a fair comparison. These guys were, I think, $20, and these are closer to like 80 or 90, something like that. So yeah, but just in terms of like sound quality, so one thing I was pleasantly surprised on. So when I used these guys before, I mean, these are very fun to listen to. They're like very bass heavy and they're pretty sensitive. But they really have that like over accentuated bass. It's like very V shaped, the curve. It accentuates, you know, the bass and the highs, and the mids is just sort of So yeah, these are fun to listen to with certain audio devices. Have the bass cranked way up, way too loud. They're fun, but they're not like super accurate. They're not great for like technical listening where you just like want to really hear the music. But these guys, I'm very happy to say these are much more balanced. Now, that's not to say these don't have amazing bass, but it's a lot more toned down. So it's relatively flatter, I would say. I don't have really any equipment that I can actually plot out what the audio curve is with respect to frequency. But just from listening with my own two ears, this is definitely a lot tamer than the ES4s. So if you like to listen to things in a lot more of a balanced manner, or want to listen to things in such a way, like if you're using it for mastering audio or doing some kind of editing or mastering, whatever you want to call it, these are probably a better choice. But they're still definitely very fun. I've tried it with mostly I tested it with these two players. So this is a FIO M0, I believe it is, and this is my NWA 45. And I wanted to give these the best chance possible and sort of listen to it in a way that I know that I'm providing it with the best source I can. These are both high res players. They are loaded up with FLACs that were ripped straight from CDs. So like pretty much as good of an audio source that I could possibly get. And I've listened to these with other not so high res players, like a bunch of different Sony like MP3 stick players and whatnot that have really fun, like ridiculous levels of bass. And these can get punchy if you want them to. Oh my goodness. I was listening to on my, what is it, the NWZB 183F. It's a Sony stick MP3 player with the bass boost turned all the way up on that. These are ridiculously like thick. But let's step away from like the fun listening. Listening to on both of these guys. So yeah, like I said, these both have SD cards. I have loaded up with FLACs, both of them, and listening to like an assortment of music, everything from music OSTs to I have actually a couple like high res, like very high sample rate, 24-bit audio files on these guys, and those sound absolutely fantastic. Even listening to like up to down all the way on the lower end down to like 320 kbps sounds really good. The one thing is if you have some music that's even lower bit rate, like if you go down to like 120 kbps or something like that, you can really start to hear the compression, especially like on cymbals and like different instruments that have like a crispness to it. You can definitely start to hear with these. It sort of breaks down the audio in a way that is noticeable. Any kind of flaws that you have within the encoding, you definitely start to hear them. I've noticed that on like cheaper headphones, a certain song may sound okay, like listenable, it sounds pretty good, but when you listen to on these guys, if it just doesn't have the sound quality apparent in it, these are clear enough that they don't mask any kind of inconsistencies or like imperfections within the music file. So yeah, that pretty much means if you're gonna get a pair of IEMs like this, like you want to feed it FLACs or WAVs. At the very least, the lowest I would go down to is like 320 kbps, and as long as the music is like recorded properly and whatnot, then these should just fly. They sound really nice. Not if you don't have like ridiculous amounts of bass, keep it like at a reasonable level. These are really comfortable to listen to. That's the one thing about these guys. They just like naturally have so much bass that my ears kind of fatigue after a little while. Like I can listen to maybe like one or two albums with them on, but I wouldn't leave them in all day. These guys I could leave in all day. Like they're really comfortable. The fit to my ears perfect. The like the mushroom shaped ear pad thing is actually soft and like comfortable enough. It's they look kind of large when I first put them in, but like these fit perfectly. They're not too big, not too small. They don't really make me feel uncomfortable. I actually ate with these in, and while that wasn't necessarily the most comfortable, it was better than some earbuds I've tried eating with, where just you chewing and your mouth movement pushes the earbuds out, and I'm afraid that they're gonna pop out of my ears while I'm trying to eat. These don't do that, luckily, but I still wouldn't really advise listening to music while eating. It just sort of definitely affects the sound quality. But anyway, yeah, these have like a certain weight to them that the ES4s don't. The ES4s are all plastic. These actually have metal. And I actually looked with the flashlight. It looks like there are screws or something that go in. So this might actually be repairable. It's not like fully sealed, it looks like. Not sure how you'd access them. I think you actually have to pry up on this metal top cover to get to the screws. But yeah, I mean, I could see like a seam here that definitely is glued. I really like the KZ ecosystem of like the way that the headphones plug in and are removable. You can actually just straight up unplug these and buy different cables with like you can get ones with microphones, you can get Bluetooth wireless ones. I've seen even like they have the true wireless earbud style where it just has like a tiny little dongle that attaches to here and it'll charge that up and you can have these totally wire free then. That's a really good idea. I really like that. Plus, it means if this cable ever breaks, I can just buy a new one, no problem. Speaking of the cable, that's actually my second favorite thing about these earbuds. The ES4s have like it's a nice cable in terms of like the craftsmanship, but it's too stiff. It's not comfortable when it rubs against your clothing. Like if you move your head while you're listening to music, you can hear like the sound travels up the wire, and you can actually hear the sound of like the cord moving on the fabric of your shirt, for instance. The cable's like much more flexible, it's softer, lighter. It's really well built. I don't have that problem with these. So definitely the cable that came with this is far superior, I think, than the ES4s, which, I mean, given that the price of this is like 4 times as much, you would figure that would be the case. Plus, I really like the cord itself is like really really nicely gold plated. It's heavy. It's like solid metal. Yeah, it just feels nice. It feels like you got what you paid for. And you didn't get ripped off. So definitely, yeah, I'm really liking these earbuds. They're definitely a mainstay in my backpack. I used to keep the ES4s. I think I'm gonna relegate the ES4s to like maybe I don't even know at home listening. Maybe just in the office when I'm just bored or whatever, and I just want to have fun and listen to like fat, thick bass. But definitely these are probably going to be like my everyday carries. And I'm happy to say like this isn't their high end. This is like I guess what you'd consider their mid range. And this is fantastic. Absolutely. Even if they did not send these for free, I would have 100%, if I was able to listen to them to test them beforehand, I would 100% spend, that $80 or whatever it is that they're asking for these. 100%. These are definitely worth it in my opinion. I'm not an audiophile, but I do listen to a ton of music. I have a very monotonous job where I sit at a desk and I program for hours at a time. I cannot live without music of some sort or just like have a video playing in the background, a podcast, something. And these these are definitely an improvement over the other types of headphones that I have. They scratch sort of the itch of good sound quality while not having a large footprint because I can zip this up and this easily fits in my pocket. As much as I like big honking over the ear headphones, those are just very unwieldy for many situations where I just want kind of portability instead. But these definitely do punch above their weight. They can definitely hold their own against my XM3s, for instance, in terms of like the sound quality. And
having an actual wired connection to boot, while giving you the option of upgrading to Bluetooth one day if I ever want to. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention their Bluetooth modules are all like they use higher codec chips in them, so it's not like you have to upgrade this to SBC. You can get they actually do have like aptX and other higher res wireless codecs that they offer. So that's actually really cool. I'd like to see where their model lines go in the future, how they improve on them, because they already are like absolutely fantastic in terms of sound quality. So I think it's only gonna improve in other areas like portability and you know like maybe expanding their wireless options to make like the dongle smaller. So it would be fantastic if they could have this module have it detachable. So yeah, so you can plug in a wire if you want, but have like the battery and a Bluetooth module built into this so that you could use just this as your wireless earbud, and it has a charging case, but it gives you the option of plugging in physical wire if you wanted the best possible sound quality. I think that would be like my ideal. That's sort of my dream of the future in terms of like future IEM audio, where you can get the best of both worlds, wired and wireless. But anyway, yeah, I've rambled on for long enough. Once again, huge thanks to KZ for sending these in for review. If you guys ever want to send me anything, I will never say no. Like I mean, you're 2 for 2 for me. Both of your products that I have are absolutely fantastic. Though, yeah, definitely these are my new favorites. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.